Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, March 24th, and I am reading two books. I'm reading a fantasy and I'm reading a sci-fi. So I am 52% into Shroud, which is the sci-fi kind of horror, and I am only 50 pages into the book that wouldn't burn, which is the fantasy. And so this week, I obviously want to, keep reading both of these books. The priority is definitely Shroud because I'm reading this one for a video. This one I'm not reading for a video. So, this is the priority, and it's also shorter. So, I will finish it faster anyway. And yeah, I also want to read. I would love to finish this one. I don't know if I will finish it. Like if I start something else, I don't know if I will be able to finish this one because it is, first of all, it's long. Not like crazy long, but it's long. And secondly, like the font is ridiculously small. So, there's that. But I'm really liking both of them. I'm having a really good time with both of the books. So I'm excited to continue both of them. I'm excited to make progress in both of them. And then I don't really know what else I'm gonna read, like after I finish Shroud. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna start next. Maybe like a mystery thriller, because I haven't read one in like a couple weeks. And like last week I read sci-fi, I read fantasy, and I read horror. So, I was lacking the mystery thriller. So maybe I will start a mystery thriller after I read Shroud. And yeah, I think that's it in terms of reading. I don't have, very set plans other than the two books that I'm obviously already reading. And then in terms of things other than reading, I don't think I have any plans for this weekend. Like I'm still not entirely sure when I'm gonna like do something with my friend, with my bestie. I'm not entirely sure it's gonna be like this weekend or the next weekend or like some other weekend. So I'm not entirely sure if I do have plans, but I don't think it will be this weekend because like last weekend I had so much going on that I feel like I need this one to just exist and like do nothing, like not have plans. As an introvert, I need to just recharge. So yeah, I don't think I will have plans this weekend. I will be going back to my parents' house because I didn't last weekend. And so yeah, this weekend I will be going to my parents' house. But other than that, like I'm sure my mom will come up with some plans because she always does. But, other than that, I don't think I have anything else going on. And during the week, I definitely don't have anything going on other than just, work. And like this week, I actually have 2 days that I have to be at the biobank, which I always hate. But one of them is done because it was today. I already did that. It was done. It was a time, as always, a time. And the other day is Wednesday. And then I'll be done for the month. Which, the month is over like on Monday, next Monday. So, But yeah, I think that is all for this intro. I don't think there is anything else that I need to update you on. Nothing else that has happened, like interesting that has happened today. So yeah, I'm gonna read these two books. I'm gonna make progress in these two books, and I will update you when I have something to say, probably like Wednesday, maybe. And yeah, welcome to the vlog. So, it's Saturday, so I'm once again failing as a vlogger, but this time I'm not failing. Like, the reason is not that I'm not reading, because I am reading. Actually, I've read a bunch of things, but I haven't, I mean, it's not like I haven't got time, because I got as much time as any other week, because I'm working, pretty much basically the same hours. But like I've just, well, first of all, I've been reading, so that's something that's taking up my time. But also I've been like in the writing mood as well, so I've also been writing, and then I get distracted with the time, and when I realize it's already so late, and like it's already too late for me to go to sleep, so it's definitely too late for me to film before going to sleep, you know. So there's that. But I have a bunch of reading updates. So I finished Shroud. I got like halfway through the book that wouldn't burn. I read All the Dangerous Things, and I started This Book Will Bury Me. So, let us happen. So with Shroud, I think it was like 50% ish, but I don't think I talked at all about it because I just talked about it in the intro, I think. So basically, that was a sci-fi book, and it was one of my anticipated releases. And we were following a team that was like, in space, and they were close to a moon that they had called Shroud. And they called it Shroud basically because it was like dark, completely dark, pitch black, like the lights didn't get through into the moon, like to the surface. It was completely black. They couldn't really see like to the surface, but they were getting signals from the moon. So they knew that there was something there. There was like life there. And so after things happened, two of the people from that crew got like stranded on Shroud. And so we had Juna and May, and they were there stranded. And, since that moon was, like I said, pitch black, completely dark, light couldn't get through, it was pretty creepy because they did have a couple lanterns, but that doesn't really do much when you're in a place that the light can't get through. So it was pretty creepy, like the atmosphere, which I did really like. And I also did really like the characters, the two characters that we're following, and like the dynamic between the two of them, and also the dynamic that they started to develop with the species, like the native species from Shroud. And it was really fun to see also like how that species was dealing with the humans, because we had POVs from obviously the humans, but we also had POVs from that species from Shroud. So it was really interesting as well to see like what they were thinking about the humans and how they were dealing with that situation. And there were also like some interludes after, like at the end of every part, where it was basically talking about like the past and the history of Shroud and like how things evolved. So it was really interesting, and I did have a good time. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the creepy vibe as well. And I did like the second half actually more than the first, but I felt like the end was a bit rushed because everything like was going sort of slowly, not like in a bad way. It was going slowly like in a good pacing, but then the ending felt so rushed, at least to me. I don't know if like other people felt that. I haven't really seen reviews, but like for me, the ending felt kind of rushed. So yeah, I mean, it was fun. I had a good time. It was a good book, but it was definitely not like my favorites from this author, but it was still a good time. I still really liked it, and I think I gave it 4 stars, I'm pretty sure. And then I read All the Dangerous Things, which was a thriller. I actually finished it today, like in the subway on the way to work in the morning. So that was, like I said, a thriller, and we were following a character whose name I don't remember because I am so bad with names. Like Juna and May, I remember because I wrote it down because I didn't remember in last week's vlog. So then I wrote it down so I would remember, and that worked because I did remember, like I do remember now, but this one I don't really remember. And like I did listen to the audiobook, so it should have helped like listening the name. But clearly it didn't. But yeah, we're following this character, and she had like her son had gone missing a year before the start of the book. And her son was, I think he was like a year and a half old, like he was still a baby, and he had been taken, basically had like disappeared from their house. And so she was, obviously wanting to figure out what had happened to her baby. And she was like going to sort of like true crime conventions and like sharing her story to try to, see if anyone would come forward with information, and also to she would investigate the people that would go to like her presentations to see like if anyone was suspicious. And we also followed like her past that also had secrets, obviously, and there were also secrets about people that were like connected to her. And like it was okay, but it was just okay. Like there were so many things. Like first of all, like the thing with her past, there were things that were so like conveniently like she didn't remember, and then suddenly she was like, oh my god, how could I not remember this? And I'm like, yeah, how could you not remember that? So it was a pretty big thing not to remember. Like crazy that anyone would not remember that. So there was that. And then like in the present, like the thing with her son, there were like two ideas, I guess, floating around that I guess was supposed to make you think like those two things. And like one of them was so like it would be so obvious that it was obvious that it wasn't it. And the other one is also like pretty obvious. And I was expecting it to also be like it's so obvious that it's obviously not that. And like it wasn't exactly that, but also it was kind of that. So yeah, it was fine. Like it was still entertaining. I still had a good time while I was listening to it, but yeah, it was fine. I'm giving it 3 stars. And then what book do I talk about next? I guess we'll go with this one. And I am like 50% into it. I started it last week, I think. And I'm like, this one is the one that I'm reading like the slowest because like I'm taking my time because I am so confused. Like in the best way possible. I'm very intrigued. I'm having a great time, but I am so confused. And we are following Levira and we're following Ever. And Levira, like she was, I think like 11 or 12, and she like used to live in the desert, and then her people were attacked by some creatures that they call sabbers. And like I'm just saying things how I think they're pronounced, but I am not sure at all. I am probably wrong because I never know how to say anything. So yeah, they're attacked by sabbers and like they're taken from their home, and then soldiers, like human soldiers, like that come from the city, they save them from the sabbers, but like they take them to the city, and then they are allocated in different jobs. And like Levira is taken to the like librarians because she seems to be like pretty smart, like the soldier that is with her. Like I think she's like pretty good at math. Like she does some like calculations in her head, like just talking randomly to him, and it's like he takes her. And so she is like now studying stuff. And then we have Ever, and he is stuck in a library, but like another library. And it's like it says it's a library, a vast library, older than empires and larger than cities. And he is stuck there with like 3 or 4 other people, and they were sort of like magically thrown into that library through like the mechanism. And they are stuck in that library. They can't get out, like they haven't found a way out yet. They want to, but they have found no way out. And they also talk about the sabbers, like those creatures. And like we are sort of seeing how things connect, like the two characters, but also I am so confused. I am so completely lost. Like in the beginning of the book, I was like, I'm very confused, like about the, whole world, like about the context of things. But like I understand what's happening right now. But like now, I mean, I understand like what they're telling me that's happening, but I'm like, what does that mean? I am so confused, but I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. And like I really like both of the POVs because every time I'm like in a POV, I think that okay, this is my favorite POV actually, but then it switches to the other POV and I'm like, no, actually this is my favorite. And then it switches and I'm really liking it. I'm having a good time. Like it's a little slower than like what I would prefer. So it's like not 5-star feelings because it's a little slower, but like I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. But I am extremely confused. I am so completely lost. But yeah, that's that book. And then today on the train, like on my way here to my parents' house, I started This Book Will Bury Me, which is a thriller, and it's one of my anticipated releases. And actually, like, it was released this week. And I didn't mention it in the intro of this video because I didn't remember it was going to be released this week. But then I saw that it had been. And so yeah, I started it, and we are following a character called Jane? Possibly. I'm not entirely sure. Let's go with Jane. If it's not Jane, I'm sorry, and I'll correct it the next time I talk to you. But we are following Jane. And like, I'm only 14% in, so I don't have much to say, but we are following her basically like when her dad died. It was like in the beginning of the book. And she is like, dealing obviously with the grief. And she starts getting like really into true crime, and she's like getting really involved in a case that some people are like investigating in like some sort of online forum. And that's it. And like, this is set 1 year after something, like some investigation that she got involved in, and I guess it was kind of infamous. Like, she became sort of infamous in that. I'm not entirely sure. We still haven't gotten to like that investigation, but yeah, that's it. I don't really have much to say. That's yeah, that's it. I just want to say that I have started it, and I am reading it, and I'm reading these two books, and yeah. So that's it. I am sorry that I didn't update sooner. Like, I really meant to. I was gonna update on Wednesday, and then I was like, okay, it's so late, I'll update tomorrow. And I was like, okay, it's so late again, I'll update tomorrow. And now I'm here. And I've only not gotten like distracted again because I was with my parents, like I was with my mom, and not as easily to get distracted when you're with someone else. So yeah, in terms of things other than reading, not much has happened really. I just, have gone to work. Things have gone better this week because last week I mentioned in my weekly vlog that everything was going wrong at work. Like, every experiment that I was doing, every protocol that I was doing, like, everything was going wrong. This week was better. Was it like great, perfect, ideal? No, but it was better. So there's that. That's good news, I guess. And that's it, really. I don't have plans for this weekend because I think I said that I just wanted to chill. I will probably have plans next weekend. So this one, I just want to chill, do nothing, like in terms of socializing. But yeah, I'm preparing my wrap up because tomorrow I'm gonna film, hopefully, if I finish preparing the things. I'm gonna film my wrap up for January, February, March, and like I have, a bunch of books to talk about, and I always write down like some notes because if I don't, like over 20 books, I'm not gonna remember what I want to say about each of them. And so I'm just, trying to do that, but it's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. But also, I don't want to do a wrap up every month because that would be like a quarter of the videos of a month, and I don't want to. I don't want to do that. So yeah, now I've been doing it just every 3 months, which is better. Like, in the moment when I have to sit and talk for like 40 minutes or 50 minutes, it doesn't feel better. But like, the rest of the time, like the rest of those 3 months, other than that day, it does feel better. So it's still a win for me. But yeah, I do need to prepare that, and I do want to film that tomorrow. It's still early. Like, I do still think that I will finish at least one of these books before the end of the month, and obviously I won't have finished either of them by tomorrow, but I'll just insert a clip of that in the wrap up if I do finish either of them. And yeah, I want to film my wrap up, and I also want to film, I also have to film like the intro and outro and stuff for the video that I want to upload on Sunday, which is like reading some anticipated releases. So yeah, tomorrow I have to film, and I also have to edit. And other than that, I don't have really anything to do, which is great. And so yeah, that's it. That is what has been happening. That is what I have been reading. And that is also what I will be doing. And obviously, I will be reading both of these books. And I will maybe finish this one, like, still this weekend. This one, probably not. Doesn't sound like I will, because I've been reading it pretty slowly. I'm only like halfway through. And it takes a while. It takes a while to read because, I mean, firstly because it's long, secondly because the font is extremely small, and thirdly because it's very confusing. So, this one will take me a while, but this one I do think, or at least I hope, I will finish during the weekend. And I mean, I want to say that I would love to update you still during the weekend, either tomorrow or probably Sunday if I have, things to say. But the way this week has been going in terms of filming, I don't want to promise anything because I'm clearly terrible at this. So I will talk to you when I have updates, I guess. Okay, so it is Monday. I didn't end up updating during the weekend because honestly, I didn't have that much to update. I still don't have, that much to say, like such a big update. I don't have it because I actually didn't make any more progress into the book that wouldn't burn. I didn't read like any more of it during the weekend, and I didn't finish This Book Will Bury Me either. And I realized that like both of the books that I'm reading have book in the title. And yeah, I didn't finish that either. I got 78% in, and that is like I read the first two parts, I got to part 3, and then I stopped. That was last night. And so I got to 78%, and I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. We're like getting into the like big investigation that the book is, following what Jane and her friends are trying to solve, like the murder they're trying to solve, which is, I don't know if I've mentioned this already. I don't know if we had already gotten into it when I last updated, but it's like 3 college students that were murdered. And so they are, investigating that. And we know that things went wrong because Jane is like trying to tell her side of the story because someone had told like another version before and like painted her as kind of, a bad person. And she is, like I said, trying to tell her side of the story, try to set the record straight with what really happened. And like, it's fine, it's okay. I'm not really that invested in the mystery. I'm not really that invested in Jane either. And I feel like this book is more about Jane's journey than it is really about like the case. And like, it's fine, it's okay. I like Jane and her friends enough, but I don't really love them. Like, I don't care enough to be like, really obsessed with this book, be like really invested in what they're doing. And I also don't really care enough about the case to be, again, that invested in what's happening and in getting the answer. So, yeah, like, it's fine. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not, obsessed with it. So, yeah, that is what I've read. And I ended up really not doing much during the weekend, which was great. I just went to like the beach to have lunch with my parents on Saturday, and then went home and then filmed a bunch of things that I had to film, and then I edited part of what I filmed. And then on Sunday, yesterday, I had lunch at my grandma's house, and then did all of the things that I had to do. Like, I packed, went grocery shopping, everything that I had to do to like come back here, and came back here. Shocking, I know. And yeah, I read This Book Will Bury Me, but I ended up not, like I said, finishing it. And so this week I read part of the book that wouldn't burn. I read part of Shroud. I read All the Dangerous Things, and I read part of This Book Will Bury Me. And that was 1,154 pages, which I'm very happy with. I am very glad that I read over 1,000 pages. I'm very glad that I seem to really be out of my reading slump, because this is like the third week that I've read, a good amount of pages for like my average. So yeah, I'm very happy that I want to read again. That feels great. And yeah, I think that is everything for this weekly reading vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!